As in this race, and I mean, of course, this presidential race, we are talking more and more about cognitive tests. We should never forget that the relationship between intelligence and politics is very complex. Nothing is obvious in this field. So we have many studies, and we know that it's very difficult to have only one remark about that. So there are trends, we can find some orientations, but not something which is clearly obvious. By the way, we know also more or less all the IQs of the presidents of the United States of America. So we know how to study this kind of stuff, and we know that certainly is not obvious as a result to have a high intelligence is not correlated with a high capacity in politics. And we have, in fact, an even more complex relationship because we don't know even for the orientation, and I mean left wing, right wing, moderate, center, what is in fact the great result. So we have many partial results, but nothing which is totally clear. So now, when we are talking about a cognitive test and to release it to voters in order to choose something, I think is very complex. Why? Because we know previous results, and maybe if the voters knew them before the election, they would have changed their mind. So the idea is to remember that IQ is, of course, something which is very positive in order to take decisions, but it's not sufficient. You have to be compatible with your team, and you have also the fact of the leadership, which is important. So you need both of them. You need a high IQ and also leadership skills. But if your team is correct, and I mean with that uh, in relation with the criteria of NASA, you can imagine that it's possible with a small team to get very high achievements. But the problem is to resist to the leader when we are a team. So for me, when we try to define the problem of the cognitive test, the problem of the capacity of a president to do something, we have to take account that this relationship is very complex, and it's even more complex to have a team to decide something with a leader. So I think that is more efficient to see IQ, capacity, compatibility, and of course, efficiency together, not simply in the framework of politics, but also in life. And for that, we need other things than what we ask now to the president.